Welcome to the Mission U Mailbag, where we answer your questions about scripture, theology, and faith. In this video, we're going to be answering this question: what's the difference between an apostle and a disciple? Well, to tackle the question, let's biblically define one word at a time, then contrast the differences. We get our word apostle from the Greek word apostolos, which means a messenger, someone sent out with the purpose of bringing a message. The word also could have been used for a representative or an envoy. There's something a bit official about the word. The verb form is apostola, which means to send out or to send. The word apostle actually occurs 3 times as often in the book of Acts as it does in the Gospels, because it was during the book of Acts where the 12 apostles really were doing the work of being sent out with the message of Jesus to the world. So in Matthew's Gospel, the word apostle is not used to refer to the 12 closest followers of Jesus until he calls them together to send them out to proclaim the gospel message. Matthew 10:2. These are the names of the 12 apostles. First, Simon, who is called Peter, and his brother Andrew, James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew, the tax collector, James, son of Alphaeus and Thaddeus, Simon the Zealot, and Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him. These 12 Jesus sent out. So being an apostle was really defined by Jesus sending these 12 out for a specific purpose. Now, as time unfolded, of course, Judas Iscariot betrayed Jesus and died. Then in Acts 1, a man named Matthias took his place among the 12 apostles. Then in Acts 9, Jesus calls Saul to follow him, changes his name to Paul, and names Paul an apostle to the Gentile people. So there actually end up being 14 different men who are called apostles during the course of the New Testament. These were the original representatives Jesus chose to send his message to the world through. Of course, Judas disqualified himself. So how about the word disciple? Well, disciple is the Greek word mathetes. It means a student, a follower, someone who's committed to learning from someone else. In the specific Jewish context at the time, a disciple was someone who was entirely committing themselves to following a rabbi. A rabbi would travel around an area or the whole country teaching, and the disciple would follow, learning everything they could from the rabbi and serving them along the way. That's why we even see John the Baptist have his followers be called disciples. In Scripture, the word disciple is not only used for those 12 closest followers of Jesus. In fact, Jesus tells us to go and make tons of his disciples. Matthew 28:19, go and make disciples of all the nations. So a disciple can be anyone who follows Jesus. But the word is also used to talk about those 12 closest followers of Jesus. Scripture helps us know it's using this more specific term by calling these the disciples, or his disciples, or the 12 disciples. Like in Matthew 10, verse 1, Jesus called his 12 disciples to him. So a disciple is a close follower of Jesus dedicated to him. And the disciples, well, that's talking about those first 12 closest followers. So comparing the terms, yes, Scripture often uses both terms to describe those first 12 followers of Jesus, calling them both apostles and disciples. However, contrasting these two terms, we can see the difference in definitions. The word disciple is a more general term than the word apostle. That's why the word disciple is used 3 times as often in the Bible as the word apostle. We see this in Luke 6:13. When morning came, he, Jesus, called his disciples to him and chose 12 of them, whom he also designated apostles. So Jesus had many disciples, but 12 specific apostles that he sent out. And then later he added Paul. And when the two words are used For the 12, the name apostle highlights the purpose for which they were sent out, while the name disciple highlights their relationship with their teacher. So what's the difference between a disciple and apostle? Well, a disciple is a close follower, a student of Jesus. There were 12 uniquely close disciples Jesus chose to be apostles, but we can all be disciples. However, the apostles were the 12 specific men, plus Paul later on, that Jesus sent out to first bring his message out into the world. Thanks for watching the Mission U Mailbag. If you have any questions about scripture, theology, or faith, please leave those in the comments below, and remember to subscribe to this channel on YouTube.